About 98% of the mass of every living organism is composed of just six elements include carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and calcium and phosphorus. Five kingdom system of classification suggested by R.H. Whittaker is not based on presence or absence of a well-defined nucleus. Proline is not a constituent of a cell membrane. Sphagnum is responsible for peat formation. The members of a species are interfertile and produce fertile offsprings. The male gametes of bryophytes are biflagellate, and those of pteridophytes are multiflagellate, except Selaginella having biflagellate gametes. The male gametes of gymnosperms are non-motile, except those of cycas having multiciliate gametes. Only birds and mammals are homeothermous. Rhodospirillum is an oxygenic nitrogen fixing photosynthetic bacteria. Scorpia has a dorsal heart. Postal anal tail is found only in chordates. Pharyngeal gill slits are present in the embryo of chameleon. Transcription, writing information from DNA to mRNA. Opening a floral bud into flowers is due to epinasty, a type of autonomic movement of growth. Passage cells, also called transfusion tissue, are found in the endodermis, meant for rapid transport of water from cortex to pericycle. Length of DNA in cloning vectors: plasmid 5 to 10 kb, cosmid 40 to 45 kb, bacterial artificial chromosome 200 to 350 kb, yeast artificial chromosome 1 mb. The tubular parts of nephron, except Bowman's capsule and thin limbs of Helen's loop, are lined by cuboidal epithelium. Person with blood group AB is considered as universal recipient because he has no antigen on RBC and no antibody in the plasma. Parasympathetic signals reduce both heart rate and cardiac output. The microscope mother cells develops an internal layer of callus which breaks the plasmodesmatal connection among themselves. During the development of male gametophyte, first of all, two cells, generative cells, and tube nucleus are formed from a pollen. This two-celled stage is called pollen grain. Finally, the generative cell divides to form two male gametes. The secretion of epinephrine and norepinephrine are secreted by adrenal medulla and are associated with flight or mm, fight reactions. Melatonin is secreted by the pineal gland and regulates the normal rhythm of sleep wake cycle. Age structure is one of the characteristics of population. The basic number x of wheat is 7. The 6x is equal to n is equal to 42 and n is equal to 21. BOD of distillery effluent is 40,000 mg per liter and that of paper mill effluent and sewage is 190 mg per liter and 30 mg per liter respectively. The agricultural runoff contains high concentration of chemical fertilizers, which is discharged in nearby lakes causes nutrient enrichment of lakes called eutrophication. Stimulation of a muscle fiber by a motor neuron occurs at the sarcolemma of neuromuscular junction due to the release of a neurotransmitter acetylcholine. The insect comprise large number of species in the animal kingdom, while mollusca is the second largest animal phylum. A population which grows exponentially and crashes suddenly exhibits J-type growth curve. To find the genotype of hybrid, it is test crossed. Inheritance of skin color in human is controlled by three genes A, B, and C. When the linked genes are situated quite close, the chances of crossing over are highly reduced. Due to this, large number of parental gametes are formed and only few recombinant gametes are formed. This results in a higher number of parental types in F2 generation as compared to recombinants. Pseudomonas superbug developed by genetic engineering by Anand Mohan Chakravarti is used to control oil spills. Electrostatic precipitators control emission of suspended particles matters SPM. Dachigam National Park is for the conservation of Hangal. Tropical rainforest has highest annual net primary productivity 9,000 kilocalories per meter square per year. In some liverworts like Mercantia spore dispersal is due to hydrogeasi and is aided by letters. In vascular cryptogam, that is in pteridophytes, gametophyte is monoecious but proteandrous to avoid self-fertilization. When the set point of hypothalamus is disturbed by high temperature, it stimulates vasodilation and sweating, while in low temperature there is a vasoconstriction and shoring. Datura is a source of psychoactive compound which causes hallucinations. The structurally different but functionally similar organs are called as analogous organs. HCG, human chorionic gonadotrophin, is secreted by placenta. It maintains the corpus luteum and thereby stimulates the synthesis of estrogen and progesterone. Multi-load 375 and LNG20 are copper releasing and hormone releasing IUDs. Gliding joint occurs between carpels. Sea gorgonia is an animal belonging to phylum Nidaria. The animal cells are devoid of cellulosic cell wall. Filiform apparatus finger-like projections of synergids of embryo sac that guide the entry of pollen tube into embryo sac. In C4 plants, C4 cycle occurs in mesophyll cells and C3 cycle in bundle sheath cells. Areolar connective tissue is a type of loose connective tissue and is most widely distributed in human body. Replication of DNA takes place as phase of interphase stage. Inhibition of the enzyme succinate dehydrogenase by malonate is an example of competitive inhibition. Such inhibition is overcome by addition of excess substrate in the medium. Replication of DNA takes place in S phase of interphase stage. About 70% of carbon dioxide is converted into bicarbonate inside RBCs in presence of an enzyme carbonic anhydrase. The bicarbonates are transported as salt of sodium and potassium in blood plasma as well as RBCs. HIV selectively destroys helper T lymphocytes. If therefore causes symptoms of immunodeficiency due to critically low number of helper T lymphocytes. Two plants can be conclusive said to belong to the same species if they can reproduce freely with each other and form seeds. Puffballs and claviceps belongs to Basidiomystes. When the margins of sepals or petals overlap one another without any particular direction, the condition is termed as imbricate. In lactate fermentation process, CO2 is not released. Placenta and pericarp are both edible portions in tomato. Which of the following is wrong about Cara? Means upper antheridium and lower Hugonium. When two species of different genealogy come to resemble each other as a result of adaptation, the phenomenon is termed as convergent evolution. Matching pairs: crocodile four chambered heart, Obelia metagenesis, lemur thecodont. The finches of Galapagos Islands provide an evidence in favor of biogeographical evolution. Gaetanogamy involves fertilization of a flower by the pollen from another flower of the same plant. Male gametophyte with the least number of cells is present in Lilium. In vitro clonal propagation in plants is characterized by microscopy. Retinol is a fat soluble vitamin and its related deficiency disease is xerophthalmia. Injury located to the hypothalamus would most likely disrupt regulation of body temperature. The two polynucleotide chains in DNA are anti-parallel. A scrubber in the exhaust of a chemical industrial plant removes particulate matter of the size 2.5 micrometer or less. A genetically engineered microorganism used successfully in bioremediation of oil spills is a species of Pseudomonas. During the transmission of nerve impulse through a nerve fiber, the potential on the inner side of the plasma membrane has which type of electric charge? First negative, then positive, and again back to negative. If the mean and the median pertaining to a certain character of a population are of the same value, the following is most likely to occur: a normal distribution. Both chloroplasts and mitochondria have an internal compartment, the thylakoid space bounded by the thylakoid membrane. Is wrong statement. A man whose father was colorblind marries a woman who had a colorblind mother, a normal father. What percentage of male children of this couple will be colorblind? 25%. Ctenophora represents both marine and freshwater species. If you suspect a major deficiency of an antibodies in person, to which of the following would you look for confirmatory evidence? Serum globulins.